Hello everyone and welcome to Teacher Valerie's English lessons. Today's lesson is for Year 3, which is under Unit 1, Welcome. And our topic for today's lesson is about modals, can and can't. Our lesson is based on students' book at Smart Plus 3, page 9 and 8. So on page 8, I want to focus on these descriptions here, and on page 9, I want to focus on this table here about can and can't. But before that, let's look at our lesson objectives for today. So by the end of the lesson, you will be able to learn about, in part 1, action verbs, in part 2, about the descriptions just now entitled My Friends, and this is for your reading, in part 3, reading comprehension, and last one in part 4, you will learn about modals, can and can't. So let's look at part 1, which is about action verbs. So for today's lesson, I only want to focus on 4 action verbs. Okay, 4 action verbs. So the first action verb is play football. Play football. Next one is paint. Paint. Next, do karate. Do karate. And the last one is dive. Dive. So let's recall on the 4 action verbs that we have just learned. Play football. Play football. Paint. Paint. Do karate. Do karate. And the last one is dive. Dive. So students, that's all for the action verbs that we have learned in part 1, and we are going to part 2 of the lesson, which is about my friends. And it is based on page 8 here, and we will read the descriptions given. There are 1, 2, 3, and 4 descriptions. Let's go to each description one by one. Okay, this is the first one. Let's read together. My name's Chris. I'm 10 years old. My favorite sport is football. I can play football very well. So, this is Chris. You are Chris. So when you go to play football at the field, you need to bring along your football shoes to protect your feet. Let's go to number 2. Okay, let's read together. This is my friend Kelly. She can't play football, but she can paint beautifully. So your friend Kelly here is not like you. Okay, your friend, she cannot play football, but she can paint. She can paint, as you can see here, a house, a sun, flowers. Okay, so when Kelly paints, she will bring along her paintbrush. So this is the paintbrush. Next, let's read together. This is my friend Gary. He can't paint, but he can do karate. Okay, so Gary is not like Kelly. Kelly can paint, okay, but Gary can't paint, but he can do karate. So when Gary goes for his karate class, he must bring along his karate uniform like this. Okay, this is the karate uniform. And the last one. Let's read together. This is my friend Sam. He loves swimming. He can swim very well. He can dive too. So your friend Sam here, he loves swimming so much. And he can swim and dive. Okay? So when your friend Sam goes for swimming or diving, he must bring his swimming goggles, okay, to protect his eyes. And also he must bring his swimming flippers, okay, to help him to swim. So that's all for part 2. Now pupils, let's go to part 3 of our lesson, which is about reading comprehension. So reading comprehension is actually to show your understanding by finding answers based on the descriptions given. And for this part, I will give you only 2 examples. Okay, let's look at the first one. So we have read it just now, but we will read it again. My name's Chris. I'm 10 years old. My favorite sport is football. I can play football very well. Okay, here I want to give you 3 questions. And you need to answer those questions based on the description given here. The first question is, what is my name? The second question is, how old am I? And the third question is, what is my favorite sport? Okay, there's a tips here I want to give you on how to answer these questions easily. Okay? So you need to make a box here, and then you need to extract all these sentences into lines. For example, the first one, my name's Chris. Okay, this one is taken from the first line, my name's Chris. And then the second line is, I'm 10 years old. Okay, here it is the continuation of the first line. And then the third one, my favorite sport is football. Okay, and then the last one is, I can play football very well. So here pupils, how to make these lines is actually you need to look at the period at each sentence here. Okay, period. If there's a period, means that is one sentence already. Okay, period here. So first sentence, period, and then stop, you need to go to the second line. Okay, this is the second sentence, and then after all there is a period, and you continue here. My favorite sport is football will be the third sentence, or we have to put it in third line, and the last one is, I can play football very well is the last sentence, which is in the fourth line. So by doing this, it will be easier for you to answer these questions. Okay, so let's look at the first one just now. What is my name? And here you need to look at the keyword. Okay, the keyword here is name. So now you need to find which line that has the word name here. Okay, we find it here already. We found it here. So name is name here. Okay, so means my name's Chris is the answer for the first question. And then next one, how old am I? So the keyword here is old. So don't look at the first line again. You need to look at the second, third, and fourth lines. So old, it is in the second line. So I'm 10 years old is the second answer. And the last one is, what is my favorite sport? So the keyword here is favorite sport. So it is obvious in the line number 3. So the answer is, my favorite sport is football. That is how you answer these comprehension questions. And I'm going to give you another example. Okay, let's read. This is my friend Kelly. She can't play football, but she can paint beautifully. So the three questions are: who is this? What can't she do? And what can she do? So like before, we make a box here, and then we need to extract all these sentences into different lines. So the first line is, this is my friend Kelly. She can't play football. Okay, so just like the first example just now, I said when there's a period, so you need to put it in another line, okay? But for this case, there is no period after football, it is a comma. So it's the same like period also. It's better for you to put it for the next sentence here, put it in another line. So you put, but she can paint beautifully in the third line. Okay, so it will be easier for you to look at the answers. The first one, who is this? Keyword is this. And from the three lines here, you can see the word this is in the first line. So this is my friend Kelly is the first answer. And then next, what can't she do? So the keyword here is can't. And don't look at the first line again. You need to look at the second and third lines. So can't you can find in, yes, the second line. So the answer is she can't play football. And obviously the last one, what can she do? The keyword here is can, and you can find can in the third line. So you just write she can paint beautifully. Okay, that's all for part 3 of our reading comprehension activities. Now we're going to the last part of our lesson, which is part 4. We are going to learn about modals, can and can't. So what are the differences between can and can't? If can't means you are able to do the actions. And for can't, you are not able to do the actions. Before we proceed with our activities, I want to show you a video of a story about can and can't. Let's watch.
First pumpkin, come in. What can you do?
I can run. I can jump. I can swing.
Can you fly?
No, I can't. I can't fly.
Sorry. Next. What can you do?
I can throw a ball. I can climb. I can catch.
Can you catch an elephant?
No, I can't. I can't catch an elephant.
Next. What can you do?
I can kick. I can hit. I can fight.
Can you fight a monkey and a crocodile?
No, I can't. I can't fight a monkey and a crocodile.
Too bad. Next. What can you do?
I can smile. I can cry. I can walk.
Can you swim?
No, I can't. I can't swim.
Sorry. Next, pumpkin. What can you do?
I can sleep. I can drink. And I can eat.
Can you eat a tree?
Yes, I can. I can eat a tree.
Yeah! He's the one! Get him in here! Take him, we'll take him!
Okay pupils, just now you have watched the video and I hope that the video can help you to understand better about can and can't. Let's now do some of these activities, okay, to recall on what we have learned about can and can't. Okay, this is the first description. Let's read together. My name's Chris, I'm 10 years old. My favorite sport is football. I can play football very well. So this is the question. Can Chris play football? A. Chris can play football. And B. Chris can't play football. So based on the description here, which one is the best answer? A or B? Again, we look at the question. Can Chris play football? Okay, let's skim and scan. Okay, the sentence is here. I can play football very well. So Chris says, I can play football very well. So means, yes, the answer is A. Chris can play football. Let's go to question number 2. Can Kelly play football? Let's read. This is my friend Kelly. She can't play football, but she can paint beautifully. So, there are two answers. A. Kelly can play football. And B. Kelly can't play football. So the question again, can Kelly play football? And we just find the keyword here, play football and can. So you can find it here. Yes, she can't play football. So the answer is B. Kelly can't play football. Question number 3. Can Gary do karate? So let's read. This is my friend Gary. He can't paint, but he can do karate. The answer A. Gary can do karate. And B. Gary can't do karate. So which one is the best answer? Can Gary do karate? So you can find the answer here. But he can do karate. So the answer is A. Gary can do karate. And our final question for today's lesson is this one. Can Sam dive? So A. Sam can dive. And B. Sam can't dive. Let's read. This is my friend Sam. He loves swimming. He can swim very well. He can dive too. So the sentence, you can find it here. He can dive too. So dive is the keyword. Okay, so means very good. The answer is A. Sam can dive. So our lesson summary for today is, at the end of the lesson, you have learned about part 1 just now, action verbs. There are 4 action verbs. In part 2, you have read together with me about the descriptions, okay? On the descriptions entitled My Friends. And then in part 3, we have done the reading comprehension activities. And in part 4, we have learned about modals, can and can't. That's all for today's lesson, everyone. Thanks for watching and see you again.